In the 26th round of the 1967 Major League Baseball draft, the Atlanta Braves took a high school star out of Northern California named Dusty Baker. But when the Braves found out Baker's parents wanted him to attend college rather than play pro ball, they put the kid in touch with their legendary star.
He asked me what he thought he should do. And I said, you know, baseball, it's not for everybody. You know, I mean, you can get to the big leagues and you can say 2 years and that's the end of your career. But I realized that Dusty, you could tell he had Major League stars written all over him.
And Aaron did more than just offer Dusty a little advice.
Hank Aaron promised my mom that he would take care of me while I was down there. And then he told me that if I had enough confidence in myself to sign, and I could be in the big leagues by the time my graduating class would have gotten there, that go ahead and sign. If not, then, you know, go ahead and go to college. I had signed against my dad's permission. We didn't speak for like 3 years.
John Baker Sr. filed a lawsuit against the Braves to prevent his teenage son from collecting his signing bonus. The verdict resulted in half the money being withheld from Dusty until he was 21.
They put the rest of the money in a trust. I thought my dad was trying to hurt me, and then my money tripled when I got to be 21, and then I finally told my dad that I was sorry. Things worked out.
Dusty had brief cups of coffee with the Braves every year from 1968 to 71, but spent enough time in Atlanta to see the struggles of the Deep South firsthand.
I didn't want to go to the South, but Hank Aaron promised my mom he'd take care of me as if I was his own son. Hank was our protector.
It was very tough for Dusty, and that was one of the things that he and I talked about. Having never played with black players before and going to an all-white school.
You experience the South that most of us never have a chance to experience. And you were saying, you know, that I didn't trust people and especially the white people that you encountered.
Dusty Baker's exposure to racism in the South had a deep impact on his view of the world and even old friendships.
I went down to see him in San Francisco the last couple of games of the season, and he kind of shunned me. I just felt bad that he felt that way about all white people. And then that winter, we didn't really communicate, and I told the wife, I said, you know, I gotta square this away with Dusty. So I got in my Mustang, drove all the way down to Florida, because Dusty's getting ready to go to spring training. And so I told the wife, I said, you know, we used to hang out at the mall a lot. Let's go over to the mall and see, the nearest mall, and see if we can find him. Well, I was pulling in the parking lot of the mall, and Dusty's pulling out. So I did a quick U-turn and pull up alongside him.
I felt somebody watching me. And, you know, I had a little gangster lean going on, you know, and I felt somebody watching me. And I looked over, and it was Dennis. And he just goes like this. And I said, oh, man. I said, now that's a friend right there, because I don't have any friends that drive from California to Florida to find out why I ain't calling them. They just wait till I get home. I just said, hey, man, I'm sorry, man, just for how I've treated you. And like I said, we've been best friends ever since.
If his old friendships were important, his new ones on a Braves club managed by Eddie Matthews were invaluable. His strongest bonds were with his roommate, Ralph Garr, and his mentor, Hank Aaron.
Mr. Aaron, he just made it so easy for us to get to know him. He just helped and went on about his business. He one of the better teammates that you could ever have.
They used to always come in my room. I used to always sit down and talk with both of them.
One time, Eddie Matthews used to check me in Ralph's room all the time for curfew. We're going down to Hank's room. So we sneak out. Eddie comes out of Hank's room and says, hey, man, have you seen those two little bastards he would call us?
I remember that. I remember that very well.
Hank said, no, I haven't seen that guy. I haven't seen those guys. Eddie sat there for about an hour, hour and a half, me and Ralph's in the closet, waiting on Eddie to leave.
Along with the fun times were critical lessons, including one that came in 1972, when Baker was looking to be an everyday player for the first time.
I got hit my first time up. I said, oh man, this ain't nothing. I don't need no practice. Well, I struck out like the next 18 out of 20 times. I said, Hank, what do I do? He says, boy, you go in that cage till your hands bleed.
That was one of the things that I talked to Dusty and Ralph both about, that this is a job and this is what they have to do. And I just didn't think that they needed to take it for granted. And I think eventually they learned that.
I'll just sometimes think about if I hadn't been so hard-headed, I might have won a batting title.
He just had so much ability. He could do it all.
I thought I was a pretty bad dude at that time.
Over the next 2 years, he also was an up-close witness to history as Aaron approached Babe Ruth's vaunted home run record in the face of racism and death threats.
The year that I broke the Babe's record was a very lonely year for me. Dusty hit behind me at times, and having Ralph hit in front of me, not only hitting, but just being with me, he helped me quite a bit.
Aaron was tied with Ruth when he stepped to the plate on April 8, 1974 in Atlanta. On deck was Dusty Baker.
He knew what was coming almost all the time. And he told me that day, he said, Alnie's gonna do this and that. Game time, that's what he did.
Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone. Henry Aaron is the all-time home run leader now.
I could have been the first one to the plate, but I kind of sat back. You know, that was Hank's moment.
The year that I went through chasing the record, I think really helped him to get to where he is today.
Man, that was the greatest moment. And I saw what he went through to get to that moment. You know, he's meant everything to me in my baseball career.